Hello children. All of you must have played the game of football, or if not played, you must have seen the game of football. Then in that game, what does a goalkeeper do to stop the ball? Or what does a player do to move the ball forward or pass the ball to the other player? You have also seen the game of tug of war. We often play it in our sports events. What happens in that? What does a team do to win the game of tug of war? So in this chapter, we will try to understand the answers of these questions. So children, let's discuss the chapter number 5, force, work and energy. The things around us. All the things around us, they do not move on their own. They only move when we either push or pull them. Like for example, a goalkeeper, he applies a push to stop a moving ball. Similarly, a player applies a push to move the ball forward or pass the ball to the another player. In the game of tug of war, a team pulls the other team to win the game. And to fetch the water from the well, what we do? We pull the bucket. So in all these examples, what we have seen? That we either push or pull an object to make it move. So what is force? Force is nothing else but a push or pull acting on an object. Now let us discuss some things that force can do. It can move an object. It means, suppose an object is at rest, like your book is lying on the table. It won't open or it won't move to the another direction until or unless you apply a force into it. A ball at rest, it will only move when force is applied. It can move in a moving object. Like a goalkeeper, the ball which reaches the goalkeeper, it is in moving form, it is not at rest. So what does a goalkeeper do? He brings that ball to rest. Okay, so in order to prevent the goal, what he does, he stops a moving ball. Similarly, in the game of cricket, a fielder, he stops the cricket ball to prevent the boundary. All of you love these games, so you will understand these examples clearly. It changes the speed of moving object. Now, what happens when we click on rolling ball? Rolling ball means which is already in motion. What happens? Its speed increases. While playing cricket, we hit the ball bowled by the bowler. So what happens? The direction changes, right? It changes the shape of an object. So the force can also change the shape of an object. Now, how is that possible? We have seen our mothers rolling out dough to make chapatis in circular shape. You always eat, either you eat parathas in triangular shapes or the rotis or chapatis. So how are these being made out of dough? Our mothers, they roll out dough to make these chapatis, and in this way, the shape of the dough is changed. So by applying a force. And also we play with clay to make different shapes. So it means we change the shape by applying the force. So these are the things that. Now, types of forces. There are different types of forces to do different types of work. There are number like muscular forces, there are gravitational force, magnetic force, frictional force. We will discuss them one by one. We'll start with muscular force. So muscular force is made from the word muscle. So it means that the force which is applied by the muscles of human beings and animals to carry out any physical activity, that is called muscular force. In our daily life, we use muscular force to do various activities like carrying water buckets, writing in the notebook, squeezing a lemon, lifting heavy weights, and many more. So these are the examples of the things that we do with the help of our muscles. Animals, they also make use of their muscles to do physical activities. Like the elephant, it uses muscular force to carry logs. Bulls make use of muscular force to pull a cart. Here you can see in this picture, they are working out in a gym. Okay, so then the boy is having a dumbbell. So how he is able to pick up that, or how he is able to lift that dumbbell? Because of the muscle or muscular force. And in another way, in another diagram, you can see a bullock cart. So the bulls, they are pulling that cart with the help of their muscles. Next in this category is gravitational force. Now gravitational force comes from the word gravity. It's also in common words, we call it gravity. Now what is gravity? Gravity is the pull of Earth's surface. It means whenever we pull, you must have seen that whenever you throw anything up in the air, then after some time it comes down to the ground. Why? Why it doesn't keep going in that direction only? Because of the gravitational pull of Earth. Earth keeps pulling all the things towards its direction. And because of this reason only, we are able to walk or run. And in space, there is no gravity. So they are not able to stand over there. They are not able to walk over there. So what does they do? They float in there. Who? The astronauts, because of the absence of gravity. You can see a boy have thrown the ball upwards, but after some time or after a few seconds, the ball just drops to the ground itself because of the gravitational pull of the Earth. Next is magnetic force. Magnetic force comes from the word magnet. Now, to understand this magnetic force, let us go through an example. Suppose you have lost a key in haystack. So, how would you find it? Would you try to find the key by separating the haystack? It would take too much time. Instead, what we can do? We can use a magnet to find the key from the haystack. The magnet, it will only attract the key. So we will find the key. So what happens in the case of magnetic force? The force which is applied by a magnet on an iron object is called magnetic force. You must have played with magnet. So what does a magnet do? It attracts the iron objects towards itself. So in this way, we can separate the iron objects from the other objects very easily. Here you can see there is a magnet and the iron nails, they get attracted towards the magnet. Next here is frictional force. Now what is friction? Friction is a force that opposes the motion of an object, or it stops the motion of an object. So have you noticed that when you push a ball, it stops rolling by itself because of the force of friction? यानी कि आप whenever you're playing cricket or you have just hit the ball with the bat, after some time it comes back to its rest. It never keeps on moving because of the force of friction. So what does friction do? Frictional force, it slows down the moving object, and after some time it brings the object to rest. Because of this reason only we are able to walk. Otherwise, what would have happened? We would slip. Okay, so we don't slip because of the friction between our shoes and the floor. The amount of friction depends upon the types of surface. There is less friction on a smooth surface. It means there is high probability that we'll slip in the smooth surface, and there is more friction in a rough surface. Here you can see there is less friction in water, so a child gets slipped very easily. Work. So when we apply force to move an object, it is said that work is done. Like suppose when we pull a chair to sit down, then work is performed. But what would happen if we try and push the wall or the cupboard or the heavy objects, but we are not successful to move it? In that case, no work is being performed. So in a clear way, the definition of work is when we apply are forced to move an object and as a result the position of the object is changed, then the work is said to be done. So children, that's all for today. We will discuss the remaining part in the next video. Go through this video and try to understand these topics. Thank you so much and have a very good day ahead.